What's going on, guys? MC333 back at it again with another video. And today we want to talk about something that happened, something that occurred that threw us off a little bit. And honestly, we want to address it because it's a signal and an important situation, an important message to a lot of creators, a lot of conscious creators. And if that's you, you should probably watch this video. I know that I'm a foreign star. If you might type, I'll make you mine. If they ain't showing no love, I don't let it get to my mind. And I be getting to it with my craft divine, I claim what's mine. And I can't play all of those games, had to protect my time. I know that I'm a foreign star. So, getting into this video, this here was something that I've been contemplating about talking about for a little while here on YouTube, since it has happened or since it has occurred, just due to how it occurred. It was very odd and intuitively it wasn't something I wanted to really bring about, but to be honest, now that I've sat with that for a little bit for myself, I've come to the realization that I should put it out because it's actually important and it could help and signal to other creators, especially if this happened to you. Drop a comment down below because I need to know ASAP if this happened to you, because this is just a major situation and it shouldn't be happening to any creator regardless. We're going into a direction where it's alarming to see that free speech has the impact that it has right now. And this goes to show the power of free speech and the power of information. If certain information and certain things and intellectual property didn't hold significance, then they wouldn't be shutting it down. They wouldn't be flagging it. You have to understand that there are polarities in this world, and for you to realize that is to come in. You got to open your heart and actually accept that truth, because it is real. And for you to think it's not, you have to ask yourself, what's the reasoning behind this thing? Why does this occur? Why is there systems in place for things to flag for certain things? Because they want things to be in a certain way, in a certain curation. So you have to remember that if things are getting flagged, that is a sense of dictatorship, right? They want it to be seen and presented in the way that, in their shape or form, right? However they want to present it. Cool. It is their platforms and things like that. But of course, as creators using these platforms, we like to think that copyrights and our rights are, as a human, is protected and things like that, right? So intellectual property and intellectual information is protected. We can freely and positively and encouragingly and confidently put information out there. And with things like this happening, it just goes to show is making the creator bite their tongue. And this is what's going to really shape the content and really shape what goes out on the media and what you guys see and what you guys hear. If what we say isn't being allowed to be said, then at the end of the day, what you guys see is going to be curated to what they want you to see. And that's a very dystopian way of living. I'm not liking the direction we're going. If you're familiar with this channel, if this is not the first video that you've watched from us, of course, you're probably familiar that you do talk about some deeper stuff. We do talk about the certain energies. We do talk about certain governmental systems. We do talk about certain political figures and things like that. So it is important. And if you stand with us and with our truth, then you understand, as the horn of confirmation signals off, then you should understand that these are early signs of a very dystopian world. If you guys look at certain parts of the country geographically, that you guys see where certain forms of technology and certain governments are shaping certain societies already. So it's important to see where we have these tools and freedom and expansion and resources and things like that. Don't take them for granted, and to utilize the information, because us not utilizing our freedom and our sovereignty, they're stripping and taking it right away from us, right in front of our eyes, right in front of our face. And we're not even, and as the horn of confirmation goes off again, and we're not even realizing it, guys. They're taking it away and we're not even realizing it, based upon distraction, based upon where our attention is going, right? So there's so many things that we're focused on day to day that we don't even realize the layers. We don't even realize what's being curated behind the scenes. There's so much in front of our face that we don't realize what's happening behind the curtain and why we're even acting in a way. They put all these things in our face so that we don't realize what's going on behind the curtain. It's time to wake up, guys. It's time to realize what's going on, because these are things that should not be happening. As a creator, I should have not been flagged. As a business owner, my business should have not been shut down over something that I said, whether it is politically, health-wise, educational information. You know what I mean? Like, that goes to show that the internet isn't what it seems, isn't what you think it is, and isn't what you think it seems. So what is it, and what is it then? That means they're showing you what they think you may know, what they think you may gravitate to. Guys, be very mindful and be very due diligent on what you're scrolling through, what you're watching on the internet, what you're scrolling by, and things like that. These are things that become very passive and they end up becoming very subconscious based upon what you're used to in your everyday cycle. But remember that the things that you're seeing is what they want you to see. It's being curated as such. So make sure that you're dictating your feeds in alignment to what you want to see. That is you using your own consciousness and your own will, your true will, your divine will to actually shape your reality in accordance to you, not being dictated based upon a mindset or getting drifted away based upon mental fog and things like that. Guys, one of the craziest things is that they flagged my account for something that I don't even want to say here on YouTube, as they just gave me my, when this happened, YouTube actually took away my advanced features for you guys to actually click links in bio and links in comments and things like that, which I think that happened for another reason. It just happened around the same time, which is annoying. But now that we got those features back, make sure you guys click the link in bio, just to be clear. Patreon open now, and that's where all the readings are, by the way. So with that being said, it's just crazy because there's certain things that you can say on YouTube and certain things you can't say on YouTube. And even on this platform, you got to be careful. But the things that they're trying to flag me about, I'm not going to hold my tongue anymore. I'm not going to hold my tongue, which is why we've been on Rumble and platforms like this that support free speech. But at the end of the day, a platform like that flagged my Instagram for, I'll put the screenshot up somewhere here or here, but you'll see what the violation was. And if you guys know and follow what we post, that has nothing to do with anything than what we posted. And even in the day of that we got flagged, we never posted anything that day. We actually commented on something the day before the previous day, and that's what I think got us flagged. And the thing that we commented on the previous day had to do with Charlie Kirk, and this was around the Charlie Kirk death. So if these are things that are being shaped, and you know what Charlie Kirk, the influence he had and the political energy behind him, what he was backing. So you have to remember, and you have to know that these people in power don't want certain things to get out there. And it's funny because I made a comment regarding certain things and regarding free speech on a friend of mine's post that was speaking about something that had to do with it didn't even have to do with Charlie. It was something that just about free speech, because he was someone who talks about freedom of communication as well. So I was there, like, I agree. And this is the same thing that happened to Charlie Kirk. The next day I find out my Instagram and Facebook, everything is gone. Guys, everything is gone. So this is just a scary, and it's not to put fear out there, but it's a scary thing to see. And it goes to show that things are being dictated and are being shaped. So make sure you guys are expressing your truth. Don't dim your light for nothing, because whoever wants you to dim your light and whatever energy is making you dim your light is happening for a reason. Because guys, it's a revelation. The time is now. Without light, it's only darkness. And you have to be able to shine in darkness. And that means emit your own light. And those that do will ascend. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching this video, and keep in mind, so used to doing readings, these videos are like readings too. Keep in mind that when you move forward, create consciously, take your notes, don't allow for distractions, watch where your focus and attention is going. Make sure you're curating where your focus and attention is going. Remember that the majority of people, before you turn 35, are living a life of subconscious pattern. So if you're not shaping your life before 35 and things like that, it's going to be very hard for you to break through and break out of certain cycles. And I'm not saying if you're 35 or beyond, some older folks watch me as well. So I'm not saying if you're older than 35, you can't change. You definitely can. If the fact that you're watching me, you have the conscious ability and the cognitive congruence to actually do so. That goes to show your neurons are actually still, neuroplasticity is still happening. So you're still growing neurons and things of that nature. And if you're watching me, you're probably tapped into some of the things that we do health-wise, some of the exercises that we do. And this is why that you're able to break out of certain cycles. You're able to think differently. You're able to think beyond or outside of the box or the parameter of most people your age, etc. Right? In that group, in that realm. It's because you're still evolving. So see you next time, guys. And be careful. Stay protected out there. 333. Let's get it. Baby trying to get down, says she fly, but I'm not that guy. And we ride to plane 6th dimension, that's why we caught another flight. Put all this sauce in the game, I know it's hard for them to not fight it. And I told baby you gotta feel it through in order to get through, don't fight it. If you was aware, would have found your purpose, let go in diamonds. Talking crazy around me, mad at me.